Hey, my foodie friends and family, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to do some good, heartwarming, soul nourishing food. This is a beef and mushroom meatloaf. A little different than normal, but it's delicious. You should try it. In a saute pan, I'm putting in 2 teaspoons of oil. I'm using olive oil, but you can use whatever oil that you prefer. Canola is good. Stay away from the saturated fat ones like corn oil or coconut oil or those ones. They have less nutritional benefits than you think. Canola oil or olive oil are very heart healthy. To the oil, I'm adding 1 teaspoon of garlic and bringing that up to just sizzle the garlic and get all the flavors of that garlic out. If it turns a little brown, it's okay, just not black. Now that the mushrooms have been the garlic. I'm looking at the mushrooms in the picture. Now we're adding the mushrooms. I've taken a pint of cremini mushrooms, which are baby portobellos, and I've just diced them up into little bits. You can use any mushroom you like, but I tend to like mushrooms that have a little more flavor than the regular white button mushrooms. So cremini, brown, portobellos, anything like that have brown skins tend to taste better. But you do you and do whatever you like. To the mushrooms, I'm adding some salt and pepper. Mushrooms need a lot of help with seasoning, so be generous here with your salt and pepper. Plus, it's going into a meatloaf that has a lot of meat, so I don't think you'll go wrong here by adding a little more salt and pepper than normal. We'll give that a stir. The point here is to get the mushrooms beautifully brown and ready to go inside the meatloaf. And look at that. By some magic, they're beautifully brown. Aren't they good looking? Wow. I'm adding a teaspoon of soy sauce here. Soy sauce and mushrooms go really well together. That with onion and garlic make a delicious topping for some pasta if you're ever stuck someday. If you have some ramen and you want a neat topping, this would be good on it. So I'm using a pound of ground beef here. I tend to use very lean ground meat because I'm adding some fat with the olive oil, so I don't want the meatloaf to be too greasy. But you could certainly use whatever you like here. Lean would be fine, medium would be fine. You could even change it and use pork. You could use chicken, turkey, sausage meat, whatever you like, whatever turns you on here. I've added 2 green onions that I've diced up, and I'm adding 1/3 cup of breadcrumbs and 1 beaten egg. The egg is going to be the binder in this recipe that'll pull everything together. Now I'm adding the sauteed mushrooms that I've set aside and cooled into this mixture. I'm giving it a good mix, but one caution here is to not over mix it. I don't know if you've ever had ground meat where the texture has been kind of weird. That's because someone has really mixed it or used a mixer to mix the meat up, and it's gotten almost to be like kind of mush texture. I don't know what other way to describe it. It gets kind of spongy and the texture is not pleasing at all. So you give it a good mix. Make sure that everything's incorporated well. These would make really good meatballs too if you feel like rolling up little balls and making a nice creamy mushroom sauce with it. Really good on pasta. You'd have almost something like IKEA makes. So I've placed it on a small pizza pan with some parchment, and I'm going to baste it with some. Now here's the tongue twister. It's either Worcestershire, Worcestershire, or Worcester sauce. Or if that is too much, just call it W sauce. It's brown and it tastes really good. You bake it in a 350 degree oven for about an hour. and then you slice it up and look at that. Doesn't that look good? And what's even better? The next day, you pull it out of the fridge and make a couple of slices on a piece of rye bread. Oh my God, what a good sandwich. If you like the recipe, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to the channel. We love foodies here. Thanks for stopping by for some more food that warms your soul and mine too. See you next time.